Hello, and a warm welcome to Season 4 of Unmute Now, a season like never before, where we present GenZ Voice. This is a youth production of our podcast coming out of our recent mentorship project. We invite you to engage with our young ladies as they join Unmute Now in raising the volume on the whispered conversations in our communities. Our young ladies will share their experiences with you through thought-provoking conversations and, of course, good crack. Come join us right here every Friday at 8 p.m. See you then. Hello there, and welcome to Unmute Now, the podcast that
raises the volume on the whispered conversations in our communities.
My name is Raquel McKee, and I am one of the 4 usual hosts of Unmute Now. You're missing today Yolande, Angela, and Natasha, but you will see them further on in the season on other of the episodes. What I want to do today, though, is very excitedly to introduce to you our Gen Z ladies who have been part of a project that we've been working on over the summer. So I'm going to hand over to the ladies, and they're going to tell you their names. And I'm asking them this question: Z or Z? Because, some people use either. So let's hear which one it is. And they're going to tell you with the emotion that captures what episode 1 feels like.
Hi, my name is Claire and I am 22. So I'm probably one of the older side of Gen Z. I am a law and economics student. Well, I'm used to saying that. Not anymore. I just graduated this year actually. And I am a twin as well.
So Z or Z?
Z.
Z.
It feels nicer on the tongue. I know I would say Z, but Z. Gen Z.
Okay. And is that with trepidation or with relaxed, calm, happy to be here?
I say trepidation a wee bit, yes. But also excited to be here.
Brilliant.
Hi guys, my name is Suha. I'm Syrian and I'm 18 years old. I'm one of 3 sisters and I'm dog mom. And I think it's Generation Z.
Z?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you feel about episode 1?
A bit nervous.
Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Maury. I am 16 years old and I was born in England, but I moved to Northern Ireland. But when I'm older, I would love to move out to Northern Ireland and explore more of the world around me. And I would say definitely Gen Z.
Definitely Gen Z. And how are you feeling about episode 1?
I'm feeling nervous, but I feel like it's a good opportunity. So yeah, kind of relaxed at the same time too.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. And?
Hi, I'm Ashton. I'm 14 and I think it's Gen Z.
Gen Z for you. How are you feeling about episode 1?
It's kind of a bit of both.
A bit of both, which are...
I'm not like nervous, but like I'm not too excited about it.
Okay. Well, I am sure that as the season progresses, everybody will relax into this some more, and hopefully all our audience will continue along the journey with us and will enjoy it, and we'll all have a great time together. All right, so today's episode is titled, Are We Gen Z? And that's because we are thinking a little bit about what Gen Z means and trying to identify where we stand in relation to that. Now, obviously, if it's Gen Z, they need their phones. So I'm going to get them to give us a little bit of a definition, not all of it, just a little part of a definition that, resonates with you. Will I start with you, Maury?
Yeah, sure. So I find like 2 different names that people call Gen Z because I didn't know there's other names for it. So I found iGen and then Centennials.
Ooh.
Never heard of that, but I thought that was quite interesting.
Very good.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Suha?
I found a definition that it's Gen Z is the name of given current generation of young people, and most of them face uncertain than previous generation encountered, like uncertain situation and future.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Claire?
So this is just more on the factual side. Gen Z is just the age group that is born between 1997 and 2012.
Okay.
So the oldest would be 25 or just reaching 25, and post-education career getting started. So we're a very young generation if you think about it.
Yeah. Okay. And what have you found?
I found one and it says the world Gen Z has inherited is one of the unprecedented chaos.
Ooh, what do you think about that, ladies? Do you agree? Fully, halfway? Don't disagree?
I agree.
You agree?
Yeah.
I agree.
One of unprecedented chaos.
I like that.
Okay, so having a little look at ACER for Education, they are talking about the fact that Generation Z, or Generation Z if you're in America, are the generation that have been surrounded by technology from birth. And because of that, this generation is steeped in technology, but I'm sure that there are other aspects of Gen Z that you can, off the top of your head, say, yes, Gen Zs do this, or Gen Zs are like that. Do you want to fire some of these, Claire?
So you say technology. I have a friend called Naomi, and she says she's an iPad kid. So there you go. I think that sums it up.
That sums it up. Okay. And what about?
I don't think I fit more in the Gen Z because I was raised and born in Syria. So I think for me and my sister, we are more like our parents, the boomers, and we like more in the reality more than like being in virtual reality, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So I think away from the technology side of Gen Z, I think another part of it is the fashion, because I think that Gen Z love to explore different type of like clothing from like the 2000s, from like previous generations. So I quite like that part of Gen Z, and yeah, I quite like the fashion part of it, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. What else?
I like the humor. It's kind of it does kind of get a bit ridiculous at times, but it's funny. So
Yeah.
So are you saying that Gen Zs usually have a particular sense of humor, or?
yeah, it isn't like whenever you're speaking to someone like a millennial or a boomer, they wouldn't. I don't think what we're saying they would find it pretty funny, but it is in our head. It's a very funny situation.
Okay. So what you probably don't know, viewers and listeners, is that these young ladies are only a small part of the team who were involved in UK Pivot's project over the summer months. So there are other ladies, and you will get to meet them throughout the course of the season. So ladies, obviously you have been part of the UK Pivot Gen Z project. Why? Why did you get involved in the project? What was it about it that made you want to be involved? Maury, do you want to start?
Yeah, of course. So basically, I think the thing that stuck out to me most was women empowerment. Yeah, I think that's a really strong topic that we need to focus on in the world at the moment. And I think just meeting new people and hearing their ideas and integrating it into my ideas, I think that was one of the reasons why, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Ashley?
I thought that hearing everyone's different opinions on certain topics really stuck out to me, and I just wanted to, share my ideas on what certain things are going on in the world.
Okay. What about you, Suha?
Well, as I said, I've never really like knew what Gen Z was before I moved here. So having this opportunity to get to know different perspective and really have the opportunity to raise my voice and say stuff and hear what other people have to say, that made me grow as a person. So I think that would really catch me.
Brilliant. And Claire?
I think it's the girls have said everything really. But I think more than that, it's also starting a conversation. I think that really appealed to me. There isn't anything like this in Belfast where you have a group of young women from different parts of the world really coming together, ethnic minority backgrounds coming together to talk about issues that matter to us. And I think that's really powerful. So I was really encouraged to know that that's something that we can do here, and I wanted to be a part of that.
All right, but I want to pick up on something that Sue has said earlier about not being born and raised in Northern Ireland, but coming from Syria. It kind of leads to the question: how different is Gen Z around the world? Is it the same globally? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Claire?
No, I don't think it's the same. Obviously, Gen Z would have been coined. It's coined from the Americans, by the Americans actually. So it's coming from that Western perspective. Whereas in an African setup where I'm from, I think it's quite similar to Rita and Suha, where I would definitely say yes, I do fit some of the stereotypes of a Gen Z, but in many ways I don't as well, because we do carry on those more conservative and traditional values from the previous generations of our parents, and those I feel are quite strong as well presently. So I don't think I would fit into that, and I don't think it's the same around the world.
Okay, Ashlyn, do you think Gen Z is the same globally?
Personally, no, because if you're, let's just say, some people around the world, some countries, they don't have as much access to technology as we do, so like they wouldn't be able to pick up some of the things that we would say that come from different platforms, social media.
Okay, fair enough. Mark?
Yeah, no, I would agree with the girls. Personally, I think the only thing that connects Gen Z is our age at this point in time. But I think that even in the same area, like say for instance Northern Ireland, I don't think everyone in Northern Ireland is the same Gen Z. For example, me, I like to read books. I like the paperback books, but obviously some people might not prefer that, might prefer like a tablet. So I think there are different aspects and different like parts of people like to pick and choose of Gen Z. So yeah.
Okay. Do you want to add anything? Because I know you kind of started this line of thought.
Not quite, because not all the Gen Z are the same. In Syria, I didn't really know about the Gen Z until I've moved here. And in Syria, of course, we have all the technology and we like access to internet and social media platform, but we never really had to raise our voice and say something. We've always kind of like walk with what other people are doing. We didn't really be out of the box. So I think that's why.
And that's a good one that you mentioned, Suha, because Gen Zs are very often said to be activist minded.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? And if you agree with that, does it apply to you? I'm going to throw this one to Claire, and I'm going to take it a little bit further with you, Claire, and I'm going to say, if you are activist minded at all, what kinds of things stir you to activism?
Yes to all of that. I would definitely say our generation has been that generation which is not afraid to speak out on issues which are important to them. If there's something that we don't agree with, we are going to speak about it. And you can see that through even the Black Lives Matter, for example. That was something that was recent, and in previous generations it would have been very difficult to coordinate something like that, but that was something that was easier to do this time around. Things like the gay pride, all those things are coming into effect because our generation, I feel, are just more open-minded. Personally, I would say just things, humanitarian causes just make me want to act. For example, we have the homelessness crisis going on here in Belfast, and for me, I would use more my artistic talent to kind of help that cause. So that would be through music showcases, concerts, and that's then how I would sort of act as an activist to raise awareness of that.
Okay. Anybody else want to throw in how they feel, they move to activism? Please feel free. But the question that I'm asking is, would you agree that Gen Z are typically activist minded in their outlook? Would you say so then?
Yeah, I absolutely do think that they are activists, and I think it's like running through their genes or something like that. Because I remember there was a 15 years old girl from Denmark or Norway, I'm not quite really sure, but she runs a campaign on like climate change, and she
Greta.
took it.
Greta
Greta.
Thunberg.
I have bad memory. Sorry. And she took it like worldwide, and I think that's really powerful. And I think she sums up the Gen Z, and she really represents the Gen Z. And I think we need to take her as a really good example of what Gen Z really means.
Okay. Mari?
Yeah, I agree with the girls as well. I think that Gen Z is quite an activist generation. I think like projects like this, and also like I was involved in a project a while ago. We had to choose topics on what we wanted to change in the world. So me and three other girls, we chose racism in communities. So we decided to like, our idea was to make a cultural day for like the community, so everyone would come and like understand different cultures and try and like that would help to ease racism, if you know what I mean, because if you understand it, then it helps you to like, you know, integrate it. So yeah.
Okay. And what do you have to add to this, Ashlyn?
I think with Gen Z is definitely, if there's something that they don't agree with, they will speak up about it and they won't keep quiet. That's really it.
That's it. Okay. And I know I haven't asked you this, but as a last thought, just before we close, is there a Gen Z person, now you've already mentioned Greta, so I'll start with you and you can say her name, that you think our listeners and viewers should know about?
Yeah, definitely Greta. She's like, when I saw her on the news, it was actually was my dad watching the news, and he told me to come and watch with him, and he said like, look what she was doing, and she's only 15. So I think that was like really touched my heart or something like that. I remember that. I remember that moment. Yeah.
Maury?
Right now I can't think of anyone specific,
Anybody?
but I think just online on like the news articles that you see of like kids, like even younger than myself, just achieving great things. I think it's really inspirational for us to be looking at and just on the lookout for. Yeah.
Okay.
I have two that come to mind.
Yeah.
But I'll say one who's local. She's a young lady, India Sasha. India, she had a genetic disorder when she was young, and so part of her arm is missing, and so she's a disability activist. But she uses her social media platform as an influencer to kind of raise awareness of that, because when she was younger, she never saw people that looked like her, and that's why she kind of wants to represent that and be that role model for young kids. And the other one that came to mind would have been Malala. Now, I don't know if you guys would have studied about her. Yes.
Absolutely.
So she's one, I think she's amazing for the work that she did. And I came across her when I was doing my GCSEs. And I think, yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Anybody you want to add, Ashlyn?
Can't think of anyone.
Can't think of anyone.
Off the top of my head, but I saw this one girl. I don't know what I saw. I think it might have been Instagram or Twitter. She's 13 and she is training to be a medical doctor.
Wow.
So I think that that's something that proves that if we really set our minds up and that we can achieve it.
That is a brilliant place for us to wrap. Just to encourage everyone viewing and listening that if you set your mind to something, you can achieve it. That's what the Gen Z say, so it's gotta be true. Thank you so much for joining us here at Unmute Now, the podcast that raises the volume on the whispered conversations in our communities. Please join us on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Apple and Spotify and all the other places where you get your podcasts. If you want to get in touch with us, it's Unmute Now 1, and you can find us there on Twitter and Instagram. And feel free to drop us an email at unmutenow1@gmail.com. All that's left for us to say is bye.